Hello and welcome back to Virtue's Last Reward. Much like other episodes, I'm starting this episode right after completing a previous escape room. So, yeah, that's all that there is for this intro. I didn't have much for this one, unfortunately. Let's see. The save file was 3, right? Yes. There we go. Resume. How quick is it? Ah, pretty quick. Do I have to bring out the key? Where's the key? There we are. And I have the gold root. That was saved correctly. Right? Secret. 1, 2. Good. Lego. Oh my god, you have to click everything. The thing that keeps the door locked. It says lock. Okay, I'm gonna put the key in. You ready? I keep telling you, you don't have to ask every single... I'm not asking you. I'm asking Luna. I'm ready. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I don't know why Sigma always does the countdown before doing it. Because that's getting on my nerves. Oh, interesting. Another elevator, huh? So I think we're going from floor... What floor was this? Floor A? Floor 1? I think we're going from floor A up to floor B. Are we below ground? I'm trying to think of the future of like what this story is gonna tell us. Who knows? Another elevator, huh?
Do you think it works?
I don't see why not. Dunno. Only one way to find out, though.
Hey. Someone's coming.
Ooh. Jingling bells. Oh, it's her bangles, I think. Looks like Alice Clover K. Oh.
Dio, Quark, and Tenmyoji.
Did she just say quack? What's up? And again, with the questionable sounds. What's going on here?
We ran into them a little bit ago.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I would need to look back at the map for myself, because honestly, I don't know where all the connections are, but we're supposed to meet up, I assume. It's like the previous game.
Well, not literally, of course.
I don't know. With a prowl like that, I imagine you run into a lot of things.
Let me see the map.
Oh, sure. Where did they meet up? Yeah, they're able to make their way here. What about the other way? Yeah, they met up probably there with those two groups. Ah, I get it. All 3 routes end up here.
That's the same as the map we found in the infirmary.
I assume. Infirmary?
Oh, we found a map like that too. Ours was in the crew quarters.
Crew quarters. Interesting. That's so. We found ours in the lounge.
Maybe we should sit down for a bit and exchange information.
I guess we can, but there's not much to actually exchange.
No.
What?
There's plenty of time for that after we check out this elevator.
Okay. I just realized there's no time limit for this nonary game, is there? That wasn't mentioned from 0 to the 3rd. We're just... The objective is just to escape. Interesting.
What the? Oh, this is just like the other floor.
These doors have colors on them too. The one on the left is green. The one in the middle is blue. And the one on the right is red.
Okay, I didn't know if that was going to be like an orange or something.
Are these chromatic doors?
I guess you can't... Are we going like combination and then the opposite of the... what are we supposed to be doing for this one?
Look, there's a box here. It looked like the ones we saw earlier.
Lock, huh? So just do right and left at the same time. Yeah, it won't budge.
Yeah, just like the other doors. No good trying to force it open, I suppose.
Never is.
Is something wrong, Alice? You've been staring at your bracelet.
Oh god, did they change?
Oh, no, I'm fine. But it looks like my guess was right. The numbers have changed.
Oh, okay, we were all awarded points. Numbers. Oh yeah, the time left. Looks like 2 hours. What? Was there? Wasn't... I don't... The only time... I'm sorry. The only time that I remember is the 9 minutes to enter. Like, this 0009 or whatever it was. That was to enter the room. Was this ever mentioned? I feel like it was, but I don't remember it. Looks like 2 hours. 6 minutes.
Ah, for fuck's sake. You telling me we're gonna have to just sit around here for another 2 hours?
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So I'm not too dumb. 2 hours before the next room opens in this small thing? Well, I guess no, we can go back and forth between all the rooms.
Looks like we don't have a choice then. We gotta head back. Quark, why don't you show them that note we found?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh? Did it say something like supplementary rules? Because if it did, we have one too. We found ours in the infirmary.
Yeah, we found one too. It was in the safe in the lounge. Here are a few more rules for you. Once you've opened a door, you can hop through it as much as you'd like. The chromatic doors are like that too. Once you open them, even I, Carrot, keep you from going in and out of them. Any color of bracelet can go through them, and as many people as you like. But, you have to escape before you can take advantage of this free reign rule. Once you've activated a chromatic door and gone through it to the puzzle beyond, it won't let you go back until you've solved the puzzle. So all 3 groups have completed their puzzles, we can go through. If that's true, then we all can go back the way we came and get into the warehouse.
I don't think Zero's saying we can. I think he's saying we have to. Otherwise, what's the point of that key card?
You mean this?
I thought that everything was just gonna cycle back to there, like, every time. Like, we were gonna go up a floor and then go back, up a floor, go back, up a floor, go back. It was gonna be like that every time, but I didn't realize that we were going to have to be forced and travel there ourselves. I didn't think it was gonna be like that. Interesting.
The AMBIDEX room key.
We found some too.
That makes 6 then. 1 for each AB room.
Let's head back to the warehouse.
So when Zero says jump, we say how high, huh?
Do you have any other ideas at this juncture?
If you don't like it, stay here.
Okay. Yeah, Dio is the most antagonistic one right now. Everyone else seems to just be going with the flow. And as much as Dio doesn't want to, like, let Zero the Third win, per se, it's the only thing that can actually be done right now. So I don't know why he's so defensive about it. Like, unless you've got another plan, just shut up and deal with it.
Stupid angry mutt watching the door sounds about right.
Asshole. Better hope I don't have rabies, you self-satisfied old turd.
Well, what's it going to be? Are you going to go back with us? Or are you staying here by yourself?
Alright, fine. I'm going.
So, how all do we get back? To which lounge? The lounge we were in, or just that room is considered the okay, back to this lounge.
So, this is the lounge.
Yes, don't drink the alcohol. We don't know if it's poison or not.
Would seem Zero's notes were telling the truth. Getting back here was easy enough.
That means we could all go visit the infirmary too.
Yeah.
Or the crew quarters.
Hey, Grandpa, check this out. It's some of your favorite scotch.
How do you actually know this or what?
Oh, tempting. I don't really think now's the time.
Whoa, hold on. Grandpa? Okay, I didn't know if like that was actually right or if it was just little shit calling old guy grandpa. Since when are they buddies? Were they buddies? Yeah, because I didn't think that there was a connection there. But, oh well. Or had they always been that close? In other words, they'd known each other before the nonary game. And if Quark was calling Tenmyoji grandpa, maybe they were even related. Alice and Clover seemed to be close too. Just how many of these people knew each other already?
Let's go, buddy. As soon as we get out of here, I can drink all the scotch I want.
That's very specific. There's no reason why someone who just met Tenmyoji would know scotch specifically. They have to be related.
You can drink all the root beer floats you can stomach.
Okay.
What? You're gonna get me a root beer float? But, are you sure? Do you have enough money?
Oh, ye of little faith. I found an old factory full of rare earth metals the other day.
Interesting. Learning a bit more about their past together. Warehouse A. Two milkmen go comedy. Welcome to my kingdom. Still don't know how that happens.
Oh, you're finally done?
Kind of.
You were taking so long. I hopped off for a little nap.
Yawning? Really? You're just a computer program. You don't get tired.
Hey, B.O. My temper's got a hair trigger, and you're awfully close to pulling it. So I'd watch my mouth if I were you. Otherwise...
Well, you really need me to spell it out.
I wouldn't have her spell it out. Him? Her? Something? I don't know. Zero the third.
Forget it.
That's a good boy. Alrighty, let's get back to what we were talking about earlier. Namely, how do you get more BP?
By solving the rooms. Oh, these rooms. Okay, so... But... Okay, no, that's right. Alice was looking at the hours for the next room that we could go to. But we only score points by coming back here every time. Okay, we go into the AB rooms, right? Look. We've got some keys for them right here. Kay and Quark have 2 each, and we've got 6 altogether.
But who goes into what room?
That doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter?
Anybody can go into any room.
What about the pair connections?
But there are only 6 rooms.
Didn't I tell you? The 2 members of a pair share the same destiny.
Okay.
Then you mean both members of a pair need to go into the same room?
Okay. Yeah, so Phi is going to stick with me until the very end, apparently. Weird. Why? Why so specifically?
What do we do after we go into the room?
Play a game. Just like it says on the door. You play the AMBIDEX game! Wait, what's AMBIDEX supposed to mean anyway?
2.
I would guess it's short for ambidextrous. Most use the word to refer to the ability to use both of one's hands, instead of favoring the left or right. But it can also be taken to mean someone who is duplicitous or two-faced.
Ah. It's a game of betrayal, then.
Well, yes, I guess you could put it that way.
And what's the nonary game?
Oh, that refers to the whole enchilada. The nonary game is a game where you try to open the number 9 door and escape. The AMBIDEX game is just a mini game you play as part of the larger one.
So there's... So I'm to gather from this that there's no real nonary game being played with like the base root of anything anymore, or digital roots anymore. I mean, that might be a part of a puzzle in the future, but it's just nonary because there's just 9. That's it. It's just 9. Okay. I mean, there are 9 of us, so...
Makes sense.
Like hell. This shit is confusing.
Is it? Or is it that you're just a few carrots short of a bushel? What do you think, Theo?
You arrogant little bastard.
They really like the word bastard in this script.
Well, that's just how I am. So you better get used to it. Now, could I have you all move to the AB room, please? I'll give you more specifics once everyone's inside. I think it'll probably be easier to understand that way.
Okay, Quark and myself each gave 1 card to Luna, Alice, and Tenmyoji. Then we headed into the AB rooms. There wasn't really any discussion of who'd go into which door, and Fi and I found ourselves heading into the leftmost room. That's not where we came out of. We came out of this one, I believe? No. Because it was Kay and Clover that came out of this one, I believe, right? And then single, double, single, double, single. I don't really remember. It's not like the order's too important. Why didn't ours open? Looks like everybody else has gone in already. Think we should head into?
Why are you asking me?
I don't know. Are you uncomfortable with this?
Just hurry up and get in there.
Okay. Okay. More alone time with Fi.
AMBIDEX gate has been opened.
Sorry to tell you this, announcer, but 6 of them have been.
45 minutes remain until AMBIDEX game polling closes.
AMBIDEX game polling? What? This game's got a time limit too? Who the fuck is this? What? 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 What the hell? Who is this?
Fuck if I know. Look, it doesn't matter who she is. Just get everybody over here.
Yeah, right. Hey! Guys! Guys, get over here! We found someone! There's a lady over here! She's unconscious. How many of them have bodies? I didn't wait for a response, just turned around and followed Fi into the room. We knelt down next to the woman and turned her over as gently as we could manage. All that greeted us was... Oh. That's not so lovely. Blood. She's covered in blood. I leaned down to listen to her, listen at her mouth. Nothing. No breath. With shaking hands, I felt against her neck for a pulse. No movement, just cold skin.
What the hell were you yelling at? What's going on here?
Yeah, we'd like to know too.
Is she?
Yeah. Quark, don't look. Somebody get Quark out of here. I like Sigma.
Okay. Come on, Quark.
Then she's...
Yeah. She's not breathing. And I can't find a pulse. Oh, voice crack. Her body's already cold, so I'm guessing she was murdered a while ago.
Murdered?
Does this look like an accident? Or a suicide to you?
Looks like she was stabbed.
Mm-hmm. But by what?
Don't see a weapon around here, though.
Yeah, not really. I don't know what those two things are on her chest. I don't know if it's like flesh sticking out, or if it's like important to a puzzle, or if it's what she was killed with, or fragments. I don't know.
That means either the killer took it with them, or it was part of them.
Part of them?
You mean like the axe? This is the room that they came out of.
Well, if someone was strong enough and they had metal hands, then they might be able to stab someone in the heart.
What are you suggesting?
It's just a joke.
Is
Don't
it?
take it so seriously. Whatever. If we examine the wound, we'll probably get a better idea of what the weapon was. Let's get her to the infirmary. She might be old, but she's still a woman. If we're going to do an autopsy, she should have some privacy. Come on, boys, let's go.
DOK and I gingerly lifted the woman up and carried her to the infirmary. Perhaps he just didn't consider himself one of the boys, or maybe it was something else. Consider himself one of the boys? Oh, Tenmyoji? But whatever the reason, Tenmyoji only stared. Is it his wife? His whole body was rigid, like a rope pulled almost to its breaking point. But it was his eyes that caught my attention. Or maybe he's got a past with this woman, like Seven was a cop, or maybe he's a cop, and like this is a previous convict or something like that. I don't know why I'm jumping to that conclusion with a woman who seems to be well dressed. But if it is his wife, good God, Quark does not need to see his grandmother. He wasn't staring at us. Not quite. It was more like he was staring toward us, a smoldering spark of something burning silently behind his gaze. It wasn't until we were almost to the infirmary that I realized Tenmyoji hadn't spoken a single word since the moment we'd found the body. I turned to look back at him. He was following us at a distance, his breathing heavy and labored, and his movements slow and shuffling, as if his body was suddenly made of lead. Something's wrong. So we get to see the infirmary this time around, before doing the puzzle. I'm trying to look around to see if I could solve this puzzle right now, but oh well. The old woman's body was surprisingly light. Carrying her felt almost like carrying an old, dry piece of wood. We set her down carefully in the infirmary bed, as if we were afraid she might break. Oh, it's diamonds. But why does it just end? Like, every other one looks like it... Well, no, there's no real pattern to this. I don't know. She looks so peaceful. Almost like she's just going to wake up any minute now. Maybe this is like a previous ex of Tenmyoji? Because if Quark was surprised whether or not Tenmyoji could even afford root beer floats, which I don't think are that expensive, but who knows? Maybe Quark just has really expensive tastes and he likes $10,000 root beer floats. But this person looked well off. Looks to have been well off. Whatever. Almost like she's going to wake up any minute now.
Maybe she didn't suffer much when she died.
Let's hope so.
Anyway, I feel a little bad about doing this, but I think we need to examine her.
How do you have any knowledge of this? I'm noticing over here what this puzzle could be.
You mean like an autopsy or something?
Is that not what she just said before?
I'm just going to have a look at the wound.
Oh, okay.
If we had a coroner, then it would be a different story, but...
Yeah. Luna?
What?
I have a medical license.
Oh my god. I swear to god, anytime there's any, like, murder thing ever involved, there's someone that has some medical history. And I just once, I would love it to be, like, no one fucking knows anything. There's always someone. Oh well.
You're a nurse?
No.
You're a doctor?
Well, I'm not exactly a coroner.
Interesting. I guess you really can't judge a book by its cover, can you?
Do you do, like, an embalming process on dead bodies?
Sorry.
You don't need to apologize.
Are you really going to perform an autopsy?
Oh, I won't really be doing it. I think that machine over there is a medical scanner. It's called an ATOM. It uses nuclear magnetic resonance imaging to examine and diagnose people.
Nuclear magnetic resonance. I don't like that string of words. Whatever those fields were from the last game has me thinking immediately. Whatever. Okay.
Ah, yes, I remember.
You remember?
Oh yeah? And just how the hell do you remember that?
Because Alice, Clover, and I examined this entire room.
So you think you can use it to perform some kind of autopsy?
Yes, I think I should be able to manage that.
Does it function as it should, though? Luna ran the scanner over the body, then turned back to the terminal. The display filled up with text, most of which rather technical. Sex, female. Estimated age, 65 to 75 years. Diagnosis, deceased. Cause of death, exsanguination. What the fuck is that? I thought it was going to be asphyxiation at first. Estimate time of death, 3 to 4 hours. Damage trajectory, weapon entered through fourth intercostal piercing heart. Wound characteristics. Wound margin, clean, continuous. So it was one continuous movement that went all the way through. Wound angles, 1 sharp, 1 blunt. Okay, 2 stabs. Wound cavity, 150 millimeters. Wound length, 30 millimeters. Wound width, 3 millimeters. Okay. Wound cavity. So, the cavity would be the mark on her chest. 150. Wound length. No, 150. Cavity goes down. 150. Okay. That's a centimeter. 15 centimeters. It's half a foot. Okay. Half a foot. Length. Wound length. That is probably the opening. Okay, so it goes deep, but it's pretty... It sounds just like a knife. Conclusion, based on the characteristics described above, there's a 95% chance that the wound was caused by a sharp, single-bladed instrument. Possibly like a sickle, maybe? But it would... No, there's... Huh. Yeah. I don't really get it. What's it mean by instrument? Was she stabbed with a clarinet or something?
It means a tool of some sort. A knife, probably.
In other words, she was stabbed in the heart, right?
Yes.
Well, I suppose that clears me of suspicion.
Sorry, but no.
Why? Please, don't tell me you think my hand can somehow turn into a knife.
I told you that was a joke.
Then why am I still a suspect?
We found the old lady in one of the AB rooms, specifically the one farthest to the left.
Where they came out
Before we went in there, only 2 other people had been in that room. You and Clover.
And only you can attest to whether or not that lady was in there before. Clover was out.
Only one of you was conscious.
Fi, please, stop joking around. I assure you, there was no one else in that room besides Clover when I woke up. She must have been put there later.
But the door was locked, right? I don't think anyone could have gotten in without the key.
Perhaps, but
You see this entire facility and you think, no, this can't happen. Have we not been paying attention?
there was a hatch on the ceiling, remember?
Yes, there was. But Zero said he locked all the hatches.
Okay, so Zero is he. Okay, I couldn't remember if that had been mentioned or not. Well, if he was telling the truth, nobody could have gotten in there after you two left. Which means...
You fucking bastard! Why'd you kill her, Kay? I knew it. You're him, aren't you? You're the real Zero.
Wait a minute, please. Just calm down. You aren't making sense. Let's suppose I am Zero. Why would I do something that would obviously cast suspicion on me?
For this exact reason, why would I do something that would obviously cast suspicion on me? It's to drive away suspicion. That's why.
Well, because you figured we'd think that.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd throw us off the trail by doing the exact opposite.
Yep, I know how these scripts work.
That's not a logical argument.
It's not. It's illogical, but it doesn't mean that it's not. It doesn't mean that it's false.
Still, you do have at least half a point.
Okay.
Your argument doesn't confirm my guilt, but it does show us where we should be looking. The real Zero. The person who brought us here is likely the person who murdered that woman. Doesn't that seem like the most reasonable answer?
To me, it does.
I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. If Zero was the murderer, then they could open anything they wanted to. I mean, didn't Zero say something about that?
I live in the master computer.
Oh.
That means all the electronic doors in this whole warren are under my control.
Exactly. Also, consider this. If the murderer isn't Zero, why would the AI Zero stay silent? He told us that his job was to make sure the game ran smoothly. But now the unexpected has happened, and he says nothing. Why would he do that? If he can see everything we do, then he must know who killed the old woman. So why has he kept his silence? The answer is simple. The murderer is Zero. Or rather, Zero Senior, I suppose you could say.
Okay. Zero's... Zero the first. Zero the second. Zero Senior is probably... yeah.
He likely ordered Zero Jr., the AI, to keep his identity hidden. If Zero Jr. told us about the murder, then Zero Senior's identity would be compromised. There is something else to consider as well. Perhaps this murder was not unexpected. Zero Senior murdered her, just as planned. Death is only another part of the game.
Killing someone's just a part of the game to him?
Well, there's no way to know for sure, but I would assume so.
Hello?
10 minutes remain until AMBIDEX game polling closes.
AMBIDEX game polling. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell that is.
All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Automatically ally? What? Whoa, what was that?
I don't know.
Well, one thing's for sure.
And that is...
If we don't go vote, something bad's going to happen.
You see? Just as I said. Zero Jr. ensures the game continues, even though someone has died. All of this is part of Zero Senior's plan.
Let's get back to the warehouse. If we all head to the AB rooms, maybe we'll see Zero Jr. After all, he told us he'd give us specifics once we gone in.
What is the ally part? What is that? What is that about? And welcome back to the warehouse again. We're really going in there? I kinda don't want to. I mean, there was a dead lady in there just a few minutes ago. Wait, Fi? Where'd you go?
Up here.
Up? Whoa! What the hell is she doing? You must be really desperate to get high.
Seriously? That's the best you can do? I was expecting something about how I jump at the first sign of trouble.
Whatever. What are you up to here anyway? What are you up to up here anyway? Okay. Everybody's already gone into the AB rooms.
Yeah, well, there was something I wanted to check out.
And that is...
This thing. Remember it?
The hatch? What is that? Oh. The hatch?
Try opening it.
No luck. It won't budge.
Then that means this AB room is locked down tight. No one could get in.
You're talking about whoever killed that old lady, aren't you?
Yeah.
You still think it's Kay, huh? Well, like Clover said, if Zero Senior is the killer, then it wouldn't matter if we could open this hatch or not.
I know. I just wanted to be sure.
5 minutes remain until AMBIDEX game polling closes.
Let's go. I imagine Algernon's waiting for us.
He's a rabbit.
Look.
It looks to be the same situation.
There's something on the screen.
Yeah, you're right. The AMBIDEX game will now begin. To enter your vote, please touch the Start button on your screen. Once you have entered your vote, the door will lock automatically. It will not open again until the polling period has finished. It will not open again until the polling period has finished. So, aren't we supposed to solve something here? What am I... Or is it supposed to be only the people that have finished their rooms get points? Is that something? Like, we make it back in time for the polling period. And the people who didn't make it through their rooms are allied after? I don't know. Well, looks like there's no going back now.
Astute observation.
Hooray! Everybody's finally here! I've been waiting.
So have we. We've got some questions for you, Zero. Who was that old
Will all of you please stop bombarding me with questions?
all of us are going at the exact same time. All?
The other people in the other rooms are asking me stuff just like you are, Siggy.
Why me?
I guess you probably can't hear them since these rooms are completely soundproof, but...
Wait a minute. Huh, interesting. Okay, so... A quantum computer, if we're looking at this right, and we're given an explanation, a quantum computer can take in information and solve the problems at the same time. Are you... If you can't answer all of our questions, there's just a single AI that isn't a quantum computer, right? And then when you directed it right at me... interesting.
B.O. is especially loud. For real, B.O. I need you to shut up.
Yeah. So, this is all playing at the exact same time for all of us. So you can only answer one question at a time.
There isn't much time. I gotta hurry and explain all this stuff, or the game will end before I'm done.
What?
So, no more questions from now on.
Okay, fine.
No answers for anybody, okay?
Yep.
You just have to wait.
Okay. I liked asking rhetorical questions, but don't answer them, okay?
Let's get this party started! Let me tell you about the AB game. Since it's a game, you're obviously going to have an opponent. But it's not like this is a battle royale where you just fight everybody. Each round will be a one-on-one battle. Mono a mono, or mono a womano. Well, there are 2 people in each pair, aren't there?
So it'll be more of a 2-on-1 battle, I guess.
Now, I imagine you're all wondering who your opponent is going to be. It's actually really easy. You'll be competing against whoever you paired up with to go through the chromatic doors.
Oh, God. That means we're going up against Luna.
For example, Siggy and Fido paired up with Mooney and went through the magenta door, didn't they?
Yes, we did.
That means that Siggy and Fido will be playing against Mooney. And it goes the other way, too.
Mooney's opponent will be Siggy and Fido.
2 heads are better than 1.
Obviously, that means Potassium and Cleaver's enemy will be Alas.
Potassium and Cleaver. K and Clover. Potassium. Okay. Ugh.
And Bo and Quark's enemy will be Tenmioldi.
Quark has to go up against his grandfather.
Well, I guess enemy isn't really the right word, isn't it? After all, if you choose ally, then they're your ally.
Oh, so is it like Oh, I think I understand where this is all headed. Luna, we're all gonna choose to, like, join up at the end, and that's the only way for us to escape, right? Is that what I'm supposed to assume? The only person that would have, like, trouble would be Tenmyoji with the woman from before. Quark, possibly, if, oh, well, if they've got a connection, there's no reason why Tenmyoji shouldn't just join up with Quark. Although Dio's a bit weird. If Alice has any suspicion on Kay, maybe. But we have no problem. So, I'm just theory dumping right now. So, I think if we ally, Luna becomes a part of our group. And then 3 of us go together at all times. And possibly here as well. And then maybe in future, maybe we just can't choose to go with 3, only 3 people. I don't know if that's a thing. Who knows? But the game show where you are across the table from someone and you have a set amount of money. What's it called? Save or steal, something like that, where I think this is what it is. Like, both parties decide whether they want to share the money together or one person just takes all the money by stealing if the other person chooses share, and then if both people choose steal, no one gets money, I believe. Maybe it's like that.
What? Don't get it? Well, don't worry. Just listen while Zero the Third explains it all.
Is this the voice actress for Junko Enoshima? For some odd reason, that's jogging in my head.
First, I want everybody to focus on the screen on the device in the back of the room.
Okay.
You should see A, ally, and B, betray on it. Do you?
Yes. So I'm thinking ally, we both are given points. Betray, only select people. Only those that chose betray get all of the points. Like, it would be 1 point and 1 point for both sides. Or maybe it's like a collective of, like, 2 for Alice, and then 2 to share between myself and Phi, so we would each get 1, where we would be up to 4, she would be up to 5, something like that. But if we choose to betray, we get 4 points, so we go up by 2, and she gets 0. Maybe.
All you guys have to do
is pick! Just pick one of those easy some of you are a little slow, so I made this handy chart. The plus and minus are from your point of view.
So they can steal points? That's what you meant by if our points drop below 0. Fuck. Okay. Okay, so what about the groups? I was right in thinking you're basically, yeah, so if we both betray, no one is awarded anything. If I betray, we get 3 and they lose 2. It's just safest here because both sets get 4. This is the most helpful to both people. Or is it 2 points to share? No, that wouldn't make sense because it would be 3 here and then like whatever. So it would be 4 points awarded in total. This is 5 points kind of in contention, but at the end you're just kind of screwing over another person just for 1 extra point. That's not smart because at the same point of doing betray, you can just be awarded with 0 if someone else chooses betray. It's just dumb to pick betray. Why? I mean, I completely understand why people would click betray, but the most advantageous is quite literally ally for everyone.
So, let's say you choose ally, and so does your opponent.
Okay.
You'll get 2 BP, and so will they.
And you'll all get a nice warm, fuzzy feeling inside.
Yes.
We call that the best pals outcome. Just puts a smile on your face, doesn't it? Next is what you get if you choose ally, but your opponent chooses to betray. If that happens, you lose 2 BP, and they get 3. We call that the stupid jerk face outcome.
Somebody did that to me like skin on a stool with some tires.
Okay.
The third choice is the opposite of that. It's when you choose betray, but your nice, innocent opponent chooses ally. This time,
you're the one who gets 3 BP, and they're the one who loses 2. We call that the serves them right outcome. I mean, what were they thinking? Choosing ally was a stupid choice, and there's nothing for you to feel guilty about.
Okay. So, thinking about this logically, I incidentally chose the right combinations to send people because Quark and Tenmi OG should have no reason to go against one another, and then Alice and Clover will stick together. So that just works. The only one who has no connection to anyone else thus far is Luna. So Phi and I for some reason feel Phi is going to choose betray, or want to choose betray for some odd reason. There's no reason. Luna seems nice enough. We'll see. Maybe she's a sick and twisted individual, but oh well.
And finally, the very last scenario. This is when you choose betray, and so does your opponent. If that happens, neither of you gets or loses anything. Absolutely 0 change in BP.
Boring. We call this the why even bother outcome. As the game master here, this is the situation I want to avoid the most.
You want to avoid the most chances of us trying to get BP? Because, I mean, everyone could always choose betray and nothing gets done.
You're probably wondering about the pairs, aren't you? Well, let me explain. Remember how I told you that both people in a pair share a destiny? That applies here, too. The 2 of you only get 1 vote. You get to choose once between ally or betray.
Uh-huh. So one person between the two of us, or between the other two pairs, can immediately just jump on the button before the other person even has a chance to talk about it.
That doesn't mean you split your points, though.
We don't split our points. Okay, so we are just the same person. Kind of.
You both get 3 points, or lose 2 points, or whatever. In other words, what you see on this chart is what you get.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay then. I think that about does it for the basic rules.
Well, actually, there's a little bit more. But
It'll just have to wait, I guess. After all, it's almost time!
What's almost time? Hey! Wait!
No! I won't wait and I can't wait. Didn't you hear me? It is time!
Okay.
1 minute remains until AMBIDEX game polling closes.
So... Huh. Do we... It's not like we have to be there. We can always just force everybody to stay out of the rooms. And anyone that goes in there by themselves, or via the group by themselves, we can immediately assume that they're going to betray. So whoever went in immediately should choose betray, because that would just lead to 0. Otherwise, everyone else stays out, because we heard before that anyone who doesn't always chooses ally, thus rewarding everyone with 2 more points. That's just the most logical solution. Obviously, there's going to be more that goes on in this story, because it's always convoluted like that. But if we can always just stay outside of the rooms, we're going to be fine.
You see, it's time for me to be hopping on out of here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, actually, now that I say that out loud, we could have just stayed with the old woman and performed more of the autopsy and learned more about her. We all still would have been awarded 2 more points. That would have been better.
See you later.
See ya.
Have a nice trouble.
Trouble? That's not one of the 3. Hey.
We don't have time to talk about this. Choose betray.
What? You're kidding! You really want me to betray Luna?
We don't know if she'll ally or not. If we choose ally and she chooses betray, we're screwed. That's a loss of 2 points. You tell me, Sigma. What's 3 minus 2?
1. We still have a whole other life. What kind of idiot do you think I am? It's 1, obviously. Hey, they learned. They learned from the previous script.
Exactly. If our BP gets down to 1, it's over.
What the? Okay, never mind.
So?
Wait. What do you mean by it's over?
30 seconds remain until AMBIDEX game polling closes.
Just press the damn button.
Click ally. You're hiding something. Yeah, you've been suspicious from the get-go. I mean, how'd you know my name? Or how about when we found that old lady's body? You didn't even blink. Almost like you knew she would be here. Look, I don't want to believe it, but did you... Are you...
Fine. If you won't do it, then I...
Don't think so. I'm not gonna move until you give me some answers. Okay, it's going a bit too slow for my liking. If I don't do anything, it'll just vote ally for us anyway. So let's hear it. What are you hiding? What's it's over supposed to mean? I like Sigma and his bluntness.
Until AMBIDEX game polling closes. 9, 8, 7, 6.
Come on.
4.
Sigma, just keep her at bay.
3, 2.
She's gonna sneak it.
When your BP hits 0, you die.
We kind of knew that. Was that in the extra stuff? Archive, secret, number 9 door, BP. However, if you... Yeah. Okay, so we just... So, much like with Snake, have you been blessed with previous knowledge in some way?
That's what I meant.
1.
Oh, I choose. I'm choosing ally. I don't fucking care. Vote has been recorded. Please wait.
Round 1 of the AMBIDEX game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse.
Okay, so everybody knows everyone's choices. So I'm sticking with ally. I thought we were turning to see, like, it just chose ally for us. That's why I thought it was red. Yeah.
Thank you for your participation. AMBIDEX gates now opening.
We're gonna learn whether or not we can trust Luna at all. And so will everybody else. As Fi and I stepped out of the AB room, I could see the others running toward the monitor, shoving and pushing to get closer. Tenmyoji was left behind, his footsteps a slow, heavy plod. What had happened to make him like that?
What was that, Sigma?
Huh?
Don't play dumb. You chose ally.
Yes.
Didn't you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I told you that if your BP drops to 0, you die.
Yes. We still have one, even if she does pick steel. Yeah, I heard you. A whole second before the deadline. How can you expect me to think anything through that quick? It would have taken like half a second to just process what you said.
No, you could have done it. The brain's processing power increases during a crisis.
Okay, more of this danger shit.
It starts working so fast that a second can seem like an eternity.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain was doing that right before time ran out, wasn't it?
That's why it seemed so slow. Okay. Nice game.
Well, am I wrong?
What the hell are you talking about? Okay, fine. Let's be generous and say, hypothetically, that you're right about this crisis overclocking thing. How would you know whether or not my brain was doing that? Did you crack open my skull while I wasn't looking? You just wedge a microscope in there and have a look at my neurons? Let me be straight with you. Your shit is whack. Like, hella whack. I mean, you just know stuff you shouldn't? Stuff like my name, or how if your BP hits 0, you die? You told me you don't know why, but more and more I'm starting to think you've been lying to me.
Yo, what's up? Siggy!
Uh-huh.
No! Hey, what are you kids doing over there?
We're having a discussion.
We're about to announce the results.
Okay.
Let's go. Time to see what the results are. Maybe it's different this time.
Huh? This time? So, much like Clover, have you been put in this situation before as well? I had, like, a thought, maybe, possibly, that Clover and Alice could have been, like, in the Nevada group way back when, but that doesn't make sense. Their age, Alice seems more close in age range to Lotus, but I don't know. Just take it at face value. Hey! Fi, hold on! Shit.
Good. Looks like you're all here. Finally.
Let's get ready to rock!
AMBIDEX game!
Mm-hmm.
Round 1!
The results!
Who stole?
If everybody would please direct their eyes to this monitor.
What? Cool. Oh. The groups always chose to betray. Poor Alice and Tenmyoji. Or is Tenmyoji doing it for Quark's sake? I guarantee it was Dio here, but why these two? Kay should have no reason, and Clover. What happened? Huh. Interesting. I like Luna. That being said, I guess with these pairs, fuck. Tenmyoji and Alice aren't going to want to go with anyone besides myself and Phi because of my action alone. Oh. God, that means that only one of the solos might stay. Oh, God. Luna, unfortunately, can go with everyone. Or these two groups. And she might still lose too, but... Ugh. All it would take is one more of these groups to whoever betrays to kill the other party and to leave Luna with 3 points. God. I know exactly who cast this vote. But... And probably Quark ran to see if Tenmyoji had betrayed, so nothing would have happened. Well... now... there's a case of... Tenmyoji and Alice not trusting whoever they're gonna partner with, regardless, so they'll probably betray just to stay alive. And... depending on who it is... Oh, God, yeah, this one's rough. Would a duo be able to just stomach the thought of being able to kill either Alice or Tenmyoji? Dio seems to be the only one. Clover, I feel, would be able to fight Chaos. Well, no, God, this makes it so hard. Oh, okay. I'm leaving this episode here right as we're seeing the results. This makes it interesting. And I saw, like, the makeup of it, like, as I thought, with the game show that I brought up, Share or Steal or whatever the hell it is. This is rough. So, if I had... No. Regardless of whether or not I went with any of the other solos, I still would have had an ally. Oh, God. I'll keep save up for now. I'm just trying to remember which thing I was doing. Oh. God. It would be 5v4. Yeah, if we can keep the 4 at bay, I don't doubt that Quark would want to protect his grandfather. Clover would join us. I definitely think it's just K and Dio. So it would be 7v2 to just keep them at bay, to stop them from both hitting Betray as well as escaping through the number 9 door. If we can just keep everyone away, just keep them all in one room, no one's allowed to leave, not even to piss. We can all piss in bottles in front of one another. I don't care. I don't know. Theory crafting in my head. Yeah. I like it. I like this game and every twist and turn that it takes. It's very well crafted. This is fun. So, thank you so much for coming out to see episode 4 of the second Zero Escape game. Virtue's Last Reward. Thank you so much, and I'll leave you with one final message. And that being, have a nice day.